Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to USTA Florida's Here to Serve podcast. My name is Laura Bowen, and I'm the Executive Director here at USTA Florida. And I'm excited for today's topic as we wind down summer and start to kick off fall. We're going to talk about one of our best programs, and that's junior team tennis. And I have two of my favorite resident experts to talk about this topic with me today. I am joined by Liz Spicer, who is our youth team play manager and helps to oversee this program for us. Welcome back to the podcast, Liz. And joining Liz and I today is Debbie Ellsworth. And Debbie actually works for us as one of our local youth play coordinators down in the Wellington area. Thank you, Debbie, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to kick things off by asking each of you to share how you first became involved in the team tennis program and tell me a little bit about what makes you so passionate about it. Liz, I thought I'd start with you.
Sure. Well, my daughter was 11 years old and she played a lot of sports, and I told her she needs to pick one. So she decided to start playing team tennis after she got invited by a friend. And she played all through her youth. She became a very strong woman. She's retired now, not retired, she's grown.
She's retired from team tennis.
She's grown, but she plays adult league now.
Yeah.
So I see how that path can then develop her. Plus, I also got involved with junior team tennis via Rita Gladstone. We ran a middle school program, and this is what really got my passion going for it. After my daughter was even done, we were doing middle school tennis. We had some troubled kids that came out to play with us. The one girl, I remember we used to have to take her out, go sit over there, calm yourself down. We don't use that kind of language on the court. So she went and sat down. She's in middle school. By the time she got to high school, I'm jogging down the road. No kidding. I'm jogging down the road. She goes, Coach Liz, I made the honor roll this week. And that just broke my heart because the tennis really drove her to be a different type of person down a different path. So I was really, that's when I just was like, I love junior team tennis. It's such a great opportunity for kids.
I love that story because it really does talk about how tennis can change and shape your life. And it's so much more than like what just happens on the court. And so thank you so much, Liz, for sharing that. Debbie, can you tell us a little bit about how you first became involved in team tennis and why you're so passionate about it?
Well, I started playing tennis as a child because my father was one of the best tennis players in Palm Beach County. So he made us go out, my sister and I, and play every weekend. And every time we win a point, it would count as a game until we got too good. And then that changed a little bit. So I have a background. Now, of course, just like anything else in life, you stop playing for a while and then, went to college and started playing for fun and got back into it. As a teacher, I was a middle school tennis coach.
Okay.
And now that I'm retired or have been retired for a while, and I play women's competitive tennis team leagues. So I love all things tennis and all things youth. And so many years ago, and I think, Laura, you might remember this, many years ago when Quick Start first started, I saw a need for it in my facility in Wellington, and we started a program. I took my first team to Delray Beach Tennis Center for a competition, and I saw how great the kids loved it, how much the parents enjoyed it, and I just got hooked. So I've been working with juniors and as many teams as I can with kids from then on.
Yes, and I think you've been working with us for youth tennis for, off and on for 10 years now almost. So it's been it's been a hot minute. And you've always done a great job down there in the Wellington and Palm Beach County area. So it's really nice to kind of see the growth, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today in just a minute. So before we get to that, I wanted to talk about what types of play opportunities we currently offer in this program. So Liz, could you provide us with an overview of where we are currently offering team tennis leagues for the fall season and maybe which of those areas are new?
Sure. We have 10 programs that are currently in the process of getting their seasons together. We have another one that will be onboarding, I believe in 2 weeks, possibly. That will be down, and that's a brand new one, Collier and Lee County on the west coast of Florida. The Gainesville, Marion, Alachua County, that's fairly new. He's on his second season. He's excited to come back. Then we have our Broward, Palm Beach, Pinellas, Hillsborough, Brevard, Martin St. Lucie, Escambia. That's that's not new up there, but we have a new coordinator up there, and she is full of fire. She's ready to really grow it up in that area when it used to be over 150 players, and it's been lacking a little bit just due to consistency, but she's on fire. I know it's going to be a great season for her. We also covered the St. John's Duval and Volusia County Flagler and the Miami-Dade area. So I'm excited. We have been growing since 1920. I don't want to say 2019, because 2020 wasn't a very good year.
That was the COVID year. We just forget that exists.
But we're taking advantage of the fact that tennis is growing, and we're just really excited for this fall season. And if you need to find out any information about your area, just go to USTAFlorida.com/JTT, and you'll be able to see listings of all the counties that we are covering at the moment.
That's a great plug for our website, and I just want to take a moment to say how excited I am that we're covering that many areas of the state. I know we still have a couple of more areas that we're trying to get covered, but just hearing that list compared to where we were maybe 5 years ago is really wonderful to hear. So we're covering almost every region of the state. It's great to see that, and thank you to you and your team for doing that work and getting those leagues up and running. It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
So Deb, back to you for just a hot minute. You have had some incredible growth in your league during this past season. I know you're working hard down there. So I thought maybe you could tell us a little bit about the league you run, how many participants you have, and how you work with the parents and the facilities in your area to actually run a successful season.
Thank you. I'm excited about the growth in Palm Beach County. We started with nothing when I started in August. We had no junior team tennis. So basically, I just went out to all the facilities and took a generic flyer and my business card. I am a competitive tennis player, so I know a lot of the facilities in the area, and I just started knocking on doors. And with that, I feel that we had a great first season turnout, which was last fall. I had only a 2-day event because it was the way to kick it off, we thought. So that was a great turnout. And then in spring, we ended up with a series of matches. And it ended up being 1-day matches for 4 or 5 weeks. And it was in a round robin concept. And we saw an increase of over 20%.
Wow.
This season, talking to a lot more parents, getting a lot more facilities on board. And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that this summer I visited a lot of the local tournaments, and I talked to parents, and I talked to the kids, and I talked to the facilities in person, and and had to explain what junior team tennis is all about. And I think with that, I feel with what I have gotten through emails and facilities and answers to my questions that we're going to have even a bigger growth of maybe even up to 25%.
Wow.
More divisions, more kids, more facilities, more time to play. And it's just exciting. But I really feel that it's the constant communication. I'm a big emailer. I phone call, I text, I annoy. Until they say yes. So I think with that, I've gotten a bigger audience. I have over 30-something people that have just emailed us through the website, beyond what we already have. So I think there's been a lot better networking through Palm Beach County. And like I said, constant emails, constant phone calls, and we have more divisions, more kids, and I'm just real excited about what's going to happen this fall.
Wow, you've done an excellent job. And I don't know if it's persistence or you can say UNO, I don't know, but whatever you're doing, it's working really well. So please, keep growing down there. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Debbie, I would say a good product is what brings people back.
Yeah,
And a
that's
good
true.
person running and producing that product, that's a lot to what you're doing down in Palm Beach.
Well, thank you. I think we're putting on a great product down here and a lot of interest.
Yeah, and I know, you have facilities there that are very supportive and understand that this is part of the whole ecosystem of, giving youth play opportunities beyond just like after school and lessons. So, kudos to you and the facilities that you work with too, of really kind of getting it and making sure that they have those courts available and it's a play opportunity for them.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
So Liz, on to one of my favorite subtopics, which is high school tennis. Everybody knows that there are two things that I talk about a lot here, and wheelchair is one of them. That's a different podcast topic, but high school is the other one that I'm, really interested in and feel like has a lot of opportunities there that maybe we don't take advantage of so much. So Liz, I want to ask you, how can team tennis be a fit for high school students who are either new to tennis, meaning they're in high school looking for something to do, or maybe they are playing tennis in high school and they might want to get some practice in leading up to their tennis tryouts next year. So what can we offer to those groups?
Well, first of all, tennis is a great fit for high school players, especially for those players who don't quite make the top 5, because that means that they're just on the cusp and they still need that match play. So it's a great way to get match play and to improve their game. Now, we know some players in high school don't play year-round play year-round. So when it comes to the fall, that might be a really good time for them to, dust off their rackets and, come out and join the league. Have your teammates come out with you, form a team. You can have one of your top players be one of the team managers. And, you could come out and get yourself all back in the swing of things, no pun intended. But the local leagues, we're going to be focusing on getting out to the schools and seeing how we can get those players back on the court prior to going to their tryouts. I know there's a lot of talk about how they can do it without interfering with their season, with their coaches. And that's where you get your player that's the responsible one, the one that can really organize the team and have them come out and manage the team. And they could even managing that team can even get them service hours.
Oh, that's great. And
Yes.
That's where we really become a great resource. If you're looking for ways, as a high school player to get, involved and to get more of that team match play, within the FHSAA guidelines, certainly
Absolutely.
reach out and we can provide you with guidance. We have many staff who actually are high school coaches, so very familiar with those rules and regulations. And I just think it's a great opportunity and would love to see more of our high school students playing on these tennis teams in the fall.
Yeah, and that we're really trying to focus a lot on the high schools and middle schools, but most high schools with that fall ball concept.
Yep.
Go ahead, Deb. I just want to add one thing real quick is that's one of the divisions that I'm excited about for this fall. I've reached out to a lot of the high school coaches. Now school just started, so I have to give them a little bit of a breathing room. But I am looking forward to that because I think that is a great. I wasn't able to do that in the spring because of spring ball. So I think that's a major division that's going to happen.
And we're fortunate as a section too, because a lot of sections have their girls playing in the fall and their boys play in the spring. Well, Florida's unique. We play both girls and boys in the spring. So that's an extra bonus for that fall for them to get involved in a match play during their off season.
Yes, and we're very lucky here that we have great weather too. So, being able to play tennis year round is a benefit to us. So having a spring season for the tennis teams still leaves you a lot of time open in the fall and otherwise to really participate and get those match play and get that experience. So thank you both for talking about one of my favorite topics. My next question actually is for both of you. And I'd like to know, what are the biggest challenges we have in offering more play opportunities, and how can we solve them? And Deb, since you're closest to the ground, I'd like to start with you.
I believe the biggest hurdle for me, and I hope, I don't know if I'm speaking for everybody, is the fact that I don't think JTT is understood. I was at a tennis CTA meeting, of course, Community Tennis Association meeting, just yesterday, and we were asked the question of what do we do with the junior players that really are struggling with the local tournaments. And of course, I raised my hand and piped up real quick about JTT, and almost all of them did not know what that was. So
Wow.
I think that seems to be a very big hurdle. Can we get it out with better explanation, or to more people, or to the schools? That I think is one of social media. I think using our school resources are very important. Our facility resources, yes, but unless they understand it. The other hurdle I'm really having trouble with is letting the facilities understand that JTT can also be a moneymaker for them.
Right.
They, a lot of the pros don't even want to get involved because they feel it's too time consuming and they're not making anything from it. And that's a hard nut to crack, you know, as a person in my position, to explain as much as I can about them having not extra lessons, but team lessons and things like that. That is another big hurdle, is I think more the pros in the facilities, or the pros within the big facilities.
What's really funny about that to me is that facilities really understand how ladies leagues drive their business, and junior team tennis can really be very, very similar in terms of what you're able to offer. Plus, it provides another play opportunity for the kids that are in your after school program. So I think you hit the nail on the head, Debbie, in both of those categories. And we have to figure out how we can do a better job of communicating and sharing that information. Liz, what do you see as the biggest challenges we have in offering more play opportunities, and how can we help solve them?
Yeah, I think Debbie hit the nail about understanding what JTT is, but they also have to understand too, if you talk about the schools, what is USTA? What is our mission? I don't think they really quite understand our mission. Our mission is, we're here to serve you. We're here to help you. They don't really realize that we're a service. We are not going to come in and just want to take over your opportunities. We want to educate. We want to, talk to you about grants that you can get, especially with the high schools. I mean, they can get grants to help with their courts.
Yep.
Same with middle schools. They have courts as well too, especially if they're getting weathered. We can also go in and, just explain the opportunities that the kids can have. I mean, they could even run, I always vision having a tennis club at a high school.
Yeah.
That could be filtered through, us with helping them. So there's a lot of ways we can help with the schools, also with the facilities. Like Debbie said, we struggle with the amount of courts that they have, or the lack of courts that they have, for them to run proper programming. So it's really difficult to get them on board where they want to take their kids to another club to play a match, or they want to, that war that goes on between them. But I think, Jacksonville is one of my best. Jacksonville is one of my best collaborative programming.
Interesting.
They have a town hall meeting. They talk about planning the season. They have no problem going from one facility to a next facility. Now, granted, they do have a lot of big facilities out there, but they are private clubs. But they bought into the junior team tennis because the parents like it. And getting to the parents, that's another struggle too. That, if you could get to the parents, and then the pro's gonna want to deliver what that parent wants.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the struggles that Debbie said, I see them, and You know, it's just getting out there and getting a good product. And once that happens, it's going to be organically growing.
Yeah.
I also have one more comment when it comes to parents. One of the biggest issues that parents come to me and ask when we talk about junior team tennis is the point structure. They want to make sure that if their child's playing JTT, they're going to be getting better, more whatever play tracker or whatever you want to call it now. And that's a hard one also to get them to comprehend that they don't have to always play an L7 or an L6 or a circuit in order to get points.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that always. And I think that we're overcoming that hurdle too, is that previously, you know, there was more of a differential there and you didn't get as much credit. And always found that strange because you're getting more match play with junior team tennis than you are in some of these tournaments. So if anything, you should be getting more credit for it. It's also more valuable from a college perspective, because if you're not, say, playing high school tennis and you're able to play on a team, now you have the experience of what it's like playing on a team versus individual play. And there are some significant differences there. So I think where you guys, what the work that you're doing together cumulatively as a group to kind of address these hurdles, from parent education to providers and facility outreach and education, you're doing all the right things. And Liz, I think you said it really well. If the parents and the players want it, the facilities and the providers will deliver it. And the demand is going up. So clearly we're doing something right there.
Yeah, and just another thing, you know, when you're playing junior circuits and you're getting your play tracker points, I mean, you get those in junior team tennis too, but the difference is you're getting 5 matches for the price of one junior circuit or one L7. I don't want to sell them off, but I know that we as a section are starting to work together so that we don't oversaturate the areas with all these products, so that these kids can have opportunity to play as a team.
Yes.
And then they can have, can organically go into playing in a tournament, a junior circuit
Yes.
at their level. So I think that we as a section, we are really working together and collaborating with the competitive people that work in our office. So I think that it's going to be, you'll see a big difference next year with the way everybody's going to be able to have the same opportunities to play.
Love it. You know, that's actually a good segue to my next question, which is for you, Liz. Can you tell us about the junior team tennis events we have on the calendar this fall and how our teams can participate? Because I know I think there's a nationals and there's also a sectional of some sort coming up. So can you tell us more about those events and how the teams are able to participate?
Sure. Well, they can participate first by starting in our local leagues. That's where they want to start first. Once they play in a local league, until we outgrow the sectionals, they are invited to a sectional, and that's where the whole state comes together and you get to play teams from other areas. So that happens twice a year. Then once a year, we have national qualifiers. National qualifiers are for your juniors, 14U and 18U intermediate advanced players who do get ranking points for that. That happens once a year. We as Florida section are having our junior players play in a local league to qualify to go to that national qualifier. So we need it so they can support our local leagues to allow them to go on to a national qualifier. This year, we're sending 2 teams in the intermediates, the 14s and 18s, and they will be playing next month in October and September.
Right here.
Yeah, right here at the national campus. So this year, if you play in our fall league, you will have the opportunity to play in the sectional championship in December, which is the 10th and 11th, and it's going to be down in Boca at Patch Reef.
Nice.
Beautiful facility. And it also would cover you in the spring if you want to come to our sectional. You only have to play in one league twice, two matches to be able to qualify for either sectional and or the national qualifier. So like I said, that's our annual year goes from September 1st through August 31st. That's the way national has the qualifying.
That's your calendar. Okay.
That's my calendar.
So basically from fall to spring, which we're about to start fall. So September 1st, starting fall, all the way through next spring and summer, like that's when they qualify. And then you're offering the sectional event in December for kids to come to and participate against other kids in the section.
Yes, and I'm in the process of scheduling the 2023 events. That should be done probably in another month.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited to go out and watch some of the matches. I always enjoy that. And I'll certainly pop over to USTA at the national campus to watch the Nationals compete this fall as well.
Yeah, I'll be volunteering for the intermediate, so.
Excellent.
To watch
Well,
make sure our teams are taken care of.
I love it. Well, you know me, I love to be a volunteer desk person. So, but only for sectionals. You can put me on the list for December.
Yeah, volunteers are welcome.
Yes, we need them. So if you would
We
like
need
to volunteer in December at our sectional event, please reach out. We have a volunteer ACES program. We would love to have you. I can work the desk. Anyone can work the desk. So it's pretty fun. All right, last question. What can providers, facilities, parents, and players do to get a JTT team started in their area either this fall or in the coming spring? And Liz, I'll start with you, and then Deb, you'll bring us home.
Okay, well, I could tell you how you can get a new league in your area. And that would be to contact me directly at spicer@ustaflorida.com and or go onto our website, another plug here, ustaflorida.com/JTT, and you'll find my contact information. You can call me or email me. And I'll let Debbie tell you how you can get a team together and join a league.
This season and all the other seasons, they can contact me personally at ellsworth@ustaflorida.com or go on ustaflorida.com/team tennis. And it should bring you right to the website where you can go and click on Palm Beach or any other
Any county
city.
that you live
Right.
in. Yep.
That should bring you right to my page. But so that would be the best route. And of course, phone calls, emails, I'll take them all. And I'm looking forward to a great season because I've had a lot of contacts that way this year.
Excellent. Yes, please visit ustaflorida.com. We do list all of the local play coordinators. Debbie and the others who work in their counties, you can search by county. You can find their contact information. Of course, you can reach out to Liz anytime and she can point you in the right direction. But we'd love to get more teams and more leagues started for sure.
Yeah, and I'd like to say one more thing about our website, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It also gives you information about where your child is. If you don't think your child's ready for a specific programming or they're not ready for a specific type of tournament, read what we have on our site, ustaflorida.com, and you'll find out some really good information on how to help your kid with their tennis career.
That's a great comment. And we just launched a new parent resource page as well, which provides a wealth of information for parents, and we're always adding to it. So if there's a question you have and there's something that we don't have listed, reach out to us anytime because we'd love to add additional resources that are valuable. So thank you, Liz, for mentioning that. Thank you both for being on the podcast today and for everything that you do to help support and grow youth tennis in Florida. You two ladies are the best, and I'm just proud to work with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura, very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Laura.
For those of you who are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast, be sure to check out USTA Florida's YouTube channel for the full video version. And as we mentioned several times in the podcast, you can find all kinds of resources for USTA Florida, including upcoming episodes of this podcast and past episodes at ustaflorida.com/here to serve. Thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful day.